Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, and all honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect. And I'm just going to go into a quick lesson about the conditions that Israel is in, proves that us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites. And of course, you can read Deuteronomy of the 28th chapter, in which tells you right there, it just tells you right there that Israel, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we feel those curses. But here is some more precepts. This is Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. Ye have so much, and bring in a little, ye eat, but ye have not enough drink. But ye have not enough, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. Ye that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. And this is the conditions that Israel is living in until this very day. And we're still in captivity. We sell much, but we bring in a little. We work a lot, but we hardly even earn anything, and our money goes out the window just like that. Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And even in captivity, how they always have, how these heathen nations, especially Esau, have done unto us. They technically own everything, even unto this day. And spoil our goods, and they overthrow our houses. And Esau would separate households in the 18,000s, Slovakia. Let me read that again. But yeah, we're in these Israel. We're cursed, so we're in these horrible conditions that we're in right now. Hardly even earning anything, and your parents are having to work the whole day and still bring in a little money. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine they get children. And even in the 18,000s, Esau would separate the families of the so-called Negroes, and sell their children into captivity. And it even tells you in the Deuteronomy of the 28th chapter that your families will be like sold, something like that. Like, in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, it literally tells you that there would be bondman and bondwoman, meaning that we are slaves. Even unto this day, in Esau's kingdom, we were still slaves and subject to payments in Esau's rulership. I'll bring out Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and shall come down very low. And those shall come down very low. And we're still come down as very low, even unto this day, because Esau, he is the head, and we are the tail, as it reads right here. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, until thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for an abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Showing you, and the proof is just to tell you right there that, we so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, we fit the curses according to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the entire 28th chapter. And we're still serving our enemies even unto this day, because we're in Esau's kingdom still. We're in his wicked kingdom still. And right now he's ruling over us. You have to come to Esau for the want of all things. Esau, he owns everything. Esau owns all these big businesses. Esau, he technically owns everything. Oh yeah. Another proof to show you that we are the Israelites according to the Bible is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. And us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we actually fill those prison houses, basically going into those prison cells, of course. And all you ever just see is just a bunch of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans filling up those prison houses, showing you that this precept is literally talking about us. They are a prey, and none delivereth, for a spell, and none saith restore. And whenever whenever a Jake would commit a crime, they'll get sentenced to like what, in 50, 90 years in prison. But when Esau, he commits a crime, he gets sentenced there for like 2 years or one, or just gets out immediately by 6 months or so, which is real ridiculous. Showing you that Esau's laws are just unjust. And in prison houses, you really just see just majority of just Jake and a few of other nations here and there, a few of Esau in prison houses. But yeah, Jake mainly fills those prison houses. Here's Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. One more precept. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And the rich is really speaking about Esau. And he rules over the poor. And the poor is obviously talking about us Israelites. The borrower is servant to the lender. And going to that scripture again, that we have to come to Esau for the want of all things. Even if we want to like make our own business and stuff, we still have to come to Esau for that, and we have to borrow from him. But either way, we're still gonna be broke, end up to be broke. It says right here, and the borrow is servant to the lender. And Esau, he would lend us money, but then have so much interest that we gotta pay back if we don't end up paying on time, which Esau is gonna do Jake wrong anyways. But yeah, that was it to that lesson, just showing you that the scriptures in the Bible literally shows you that us so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. But yeah, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, and Shalom.